Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. All right, so Love and Marriage Huntsville. So this episode starts out, they're still in Vegas, and the guys are out at the basketball court, and they're pretty much discussing the argument between Melody and Martell the previous night, um, saying that they think that both of them are using the children as pawns in their arguments, and they shouldn't be doing that. Marceau starts to get into how teacher surprised him with therapy, and he didn't like that. And then in walks Martell with his tight shorts. So anyway, Marcel continues and talks about how, like, when he first met Tisha, she was just this confident woman. She would walk in the room and own the room type thing. And it's just like, what does her wanting to seek therapy have to do with her confidence? So because he's like, he doesn't know. He's thinking that her confidence is the reason as to why she wants to go to therapy. And it's just like, just watching their interactions on the show, like, Marcel is just this misogynistic alpha male, and he doesn't listen to her. When she talks to him or is trying to tell her about his problems, he's either like not listening, or he overtalks her and is not really considering her feelings. And I feel like that is why she wants to try to bring a third party in to try to get him to listen. But even within that, he is just not compromising and not trying to listen to her or the therapist. Marceau thinks that his way is the right way, and that's the only way. And I think at this point, Tisha is tired of trying. She's tired of fighting with you. She's beat down. And that's why it seems like she's not as confident. But the only thing I'm trying to understand at this point is, why are y'all having a conversation in front of Lewis? We already know how Tiffany and Lewis gets down. Okay? So you're relaying this information out to the guys, and Lewis is going to have no problem pillow talking with Tiffany and telling her about what's going on. And eventually it's going to make its way back to Tisha, because that's what she does. She runs her mouth and brings up information at inappropriate times. So the ladies are coming outside. They're heading to the pool, and the guys hear them, so they head over as well. So everybody's sitting around, and they're like, oh, where's Mel? Where's Mel? Where's Melody? Is she coming out? And Martell thinks it's a good idea for him to go and check on her. So he volunteers to go. And I'm like, despite y'all having an argument, you think that this is the correct thing to do? Okay, whatever. So he goes in and he's like, what's up? Everybody's like looking for you. And they kind of go over what has happened the previous night, their argument. And Mel is like, pretty much telling him like what her triggers are. Like, you bringing up the fact that we have 4 kids, like I can't focus on my career and take care of my kids, and like I don't know that I have 4 kids. It's problematic to me. You also throw jabs about my singing career. Like, it's a problem for me. So they kind of are going back and forth. He's trying to put on this nice guy act. He's walking away, but he's coming back. So they keep going back and forth. And He didn't talk about his triggers but one thing I noticed on the show is every time she bring up that side chick or she say mistress, he starts going ham. And every time he do, I'm like, what is all this energy for? She not telling a lie. You acting like you ain't cheat on this lady with a whole nother woman. Well, apparently multiple women because you've been cheating throughout the years. And that you didn't get this most recent woman pregnant and have a whole nother baby. Like, what's going on? So from there, Martell is going crazy. They're yelling back and forth. It's so loud you can hear it all the way outside. But he's like being aggressive and he's like in her face. Like, it was crazy. Like, production had to call Marceau to have another man come remove Martell physically from the room because he would not leave and he would not stop screaming and yelling. And it's it's like secondhand embarrassment because I'm like thinking about those kids and I'm like, this probably is not the first time that they've been arguing like this, and them kids probably have had to hear it. And it's just so disruptive. Like, I didn't grow up in a household with a whole bunch of yelling, so when people are screaming and yelling, it's just like piercing to my ears. Like, I cannot take it. I do not like to deal with nothing like that. And honestly, if I was Melody, I would pay Martell dust every time I see him. I would pay him dust just because, like, he's never gonna take full accountability for the things that he's done and why your marriage was disrupted. Because even when they are focusing on the topic of like the things that he did, it's always like, well, what did you do? What did you do? We're not talking about what Melody did and whatever accusations you want to put on her because they can't be proven. But I'm gonna tell you this: yours can be proven. We just need the results from that DNA test, and then we will be able to prove what you were doing. Plus, your side chick been speaking out a lot, so the evidence is there. Next, we have Lewis and Tiffany setting up for this game called Wilding Out with the Whitlows or whatever they want to call it. They just bother my soul. They are so irritating to me because they just try to act like this model couple and they know everything and they can be therapeutic and speak therapy into other couples. And, we've been through this, so we know we came together. We'd been through a lot. And it's just like we do not care because I feel like a lot of the times they are sitting and watching and judging and collecting information so they'll have it to bring it up at another inappropriate time, especially that Tiffany, because she's been doing that a lot. They get started with the game, and the first question is, are your sexual needs being met? So the rules of the game are supposed to be either there's a set of questions, and either you answer it or you drink. So I just felt like a lot of the questions that they were asking were messy, and it's just like y'all were adding rules as you went along. So like one of the another question was like, how many people have you had sex with in the same day? And then like people were saying their numbers. And now Tiffany wants to go around the room and like whoever has the highest number wins. What? Why are you adding rules to the game at this point in time? So then another question was, or direction was, drink if you're happy in your marriage or your relationship, whatever it was. And after they asked the question, both of them were like eyes deadlocked on Marceau. And Marcel sat there and he didn't drink, and then they started snickering. So I'm like, that's how you know y'all trying to be messy. One, two, Lewis has already gone back and told Tiffany about what Marcel was saying. Interesting. So then after that, Marcel is like going to drink late, talking about some I didn't drink, trying to be funny. I'm like, I don't think that's funny. So Tisha's like, she doesn't want any more questions about sex because that's what most of the questions were surrounding. And Tiffany is like, well, you've been married for 15 years. You don't want to have a conversation about sex. So they move on and they want to discuss like marriages, divorce, whatever, and for everybody to give out some advice to each other. And Destiny was like, I ain't got no advice, but she was just like, the only thing that she regrets from her being divorced is that her ex-husband and her child did not get a chance to be a family. And Tisha proceeds to say, yeah, that was one thing I said, like, I did not want to be no single mother. And it's just like that is not helpful. That adds nothing to the conversation. Um, Destiny has already gone over. Like, that's something that she would not have preferred at either. But she made a choice that she was gonna be happy. And if her happiness included not being married to that man anymore, then that was the step that she was gonna take. Maybe she was brave enough to do it, Tisha, because you're not. Marcel walks all over you, and you got the nerve to say that? Like, are you serious? And with you coming from a single mother, like, again, it's not ideal, but like, I just felt like that comment was unnecessary and it was a little bit shady. But after she said that, Tiffany was kind of looking at her weird because it's like you saying that, honey, and you might have a husband that provides, but baby, you a single mother because you do everything by yourself. You a married single mother because you do everything. So Lewis proceeds to share with Tiffany what Marcel shared at the basketball court, and it's just like it's nauseating at this point because you can tell that they believe that they are the model couple because even with him sharing everything that Marcel was saying about Tisha, he's just like, but everybody is not transparent like us. Everybody doesn't communicate like us. Everyone doesn't share like us. And it's just like, child, whatever. But if you know these things, why did you think it was appropriate to go back and tell your wife? Especially since he shared that in confidence, right? Like, obviously, it's on TV, it's gonna get out, but like in a normal setting, if guys are having guy talk, I'm pretty sure that there's a reason why they didn't go back and tell their wife and have that conversation, or maybe he wasn't ready to have that conversation with his wife yet. We really don't know, but it's just not okay. And obviously, couples are gonna talk, but if I'm sharing some stuff with my friend about what's going on with me and my husband, and then the information is told and gets back to my husband, I'm gonna feel some type of way. So the ladies go out to a club and they're kind of dancing for a little bit and then they go and sit down. And so the ladies are talking about, oh yeah, so Tiffany is so much fun and we're excited that she's a part of the group now and all of these different things. And Destiny was like, I'm trying to figure out where this fun Tiffany is at. I'm not seeing it. And so she called her a Karen, which I thought was hilarious. But Tiffany is kind of a Karen because she just says whatever she wants out of her mouth and then thinks that there should be no consequence for it. And even like the situation with Maurice's son, uh, when she was confronted about the things that she said, she was acting perplexed and confused. And then she went on to start crying about it, even though you were the one in the wrong. Like, I don't care what type of relationship you got with your husband or what type of person you are. The things that you do and say at inappropriate times are unacceptable. You are an adult. You should have social cues and understand when's the right time to do something and how to go about it. So Tisha brings up the fact that she wants to surprise Marcel with a vow renewal. And Tiffany's like, does he know anything? And Tisha's like, no. And Tiffany's like, as a person who threw a surprise wedding, he needs to know something. So Tisha was like, I'll think about it, but not really. And she said, yeah. And he also said that you surprised him with therapy. And she's like, yep, I did. And she was just like, and like pretty much asking leading questions to get out that Marcel felt some way about it. And Tisha goes on to defend him. I don't know. She was just like rambling, like, no, he listens and blah, 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 blah. Nobody want to hear that. And then Tiffany is like asking questions like, basically, obviously, you guys are not happy. Like, are you staying for the kids? And Destiny is like, what? Why would you ask somebody like that? Like, that's offensive. And Tiffany is just like, I don't know. Maybe you need to talk to him because he was not happy about that therapy and he's telling his boys that he thinks that you're not confident. And Destiny was right to call her out. And she just like, this lady don't know how to read the room. She speaks out of turn at inappropriate times. She did it at my birthday with me. She did it at my birthday again with Kimmy. And then now she's doing it again. Like, this lady is a problem and she need to be checked. So as Destiny is trying to call her out about it, like, you're doing a lot. Mel is here to defend her once again, like, oh, like what she's doing is for the greater good. And she's not being shady, none of that. And if you have a problem, like you need to tell her directly what you want to do, and or you want what you want her to do. And Destiny's like, I can speak for myself. I got it. Thank you, security. And I just don't like how they try to paint Destiny as the aggressor and like she's the one who's doing too much when it's just like, no. First of all, the things that she's saying and when she's saying it is just entirely inappropriate. And it feels as if like the ways that she's saying things is one shady, but two it's like you're trying to embarrass this girl because you're saying it in front of the group that her husband thinks that she's not confident. Is she saying around for the kids? And it's just like you just came around, so you need to learn your place and earn your spot. So Tiffany proceeds to keep going back and forth with Tisha, even though Tisha's just like, well, I don't know nothing about that. Marcel ain't saying nothing to me. You're just relaying information from your husband. It is what it is, whatever. And and Tiffany is continuing on like, yeah, well, you did surprise him with therapy. And Destiny was like, just like you surprised yours with the wedding. And I was like, exactly. And it's like, Destiny be out here trying to have all y'all back and then y'all be leaving her out to dry. And I don't like that. So Destiny is trying to correct her. Mel is jumping in, like I said. Oh, you need to tell her what it is you want her to do, how you want her to do something or what the issue is. And Destiny is just like, she is telling her. So I'm just confused as to where Mel is coming in to try to direct her because I'm like, she's saying exactly what the issue is. This lady is speaking out of turn. She's not reading your room. This is problematic. And you do not know these ladies. First of all, we trying to have fun and you're bringing negativity into this. If you are going to tell somebody about something that was said, then you should bring them and pull them to the side, not say it out in front of everybody because once you do that, it now turns into something else and it's perceived a certain way. I'm sorry. It does not feel like you're trying to be helpful. So Tiffany cocks her neck and her head to the side and says to Destiny, well, it's obvious that you're feeling some type of way. And you've been feeling some type of way in Detroit and Atlanta and Huntsville. And Destiny is like, what? And she's like, oh, haven't you lived on all of those places? And she was like, I sure have, and I'll drag you into each and every one of them. And I was like, I know that's right, Destiny, because who are you talking to? And it's like after she said that, y'all all like, oh my God, you're gonna drag her? Oh my God. And she, that's was just like, if we're gonna have a conversation, we're gonna have one, but you're not gonna be shady. We're not doing that. And Tiffany cut it off. It's like, oh, are we ready to go? And it's just like, y'all seriously, like, y'all think that this is okay? This girl been running her mouth. She been running her mouth since she got here. Her and that flat press out being going off, running off at the mouth, and there should be no consequence for it. What's wrong with y'all? Yeah, so that's pretty much how things ended there. You guys let me know down in the comments how you would feel in that situation, the last scenario with somebody new to your friend group being shady towards you. And I will speak to you guys next time.